than just an observance. It is calling us to be observant, isn't it, on our area roadways?
Exactly. And because we're finally getting what may look like spring, we will be seeing more tractors on the road, more farmers heading to the fields to get things planted, and we want everybody to be safe. And we have some advice for what to do if you encounter farm equipment along the road.
All right, let's get into it, because we're certainly, no matter where you are in Indiana County, there's a good chance you're going to come across a tractor or two.
That is correct, Todd. In the nation alone, there's an average of 15,000 farm equipment related accidents per year.
Wow.
Resulting in over 400 deaths. Most of those are passenger car folks or motorcycle riders. And that's the biggest initiative for this. The biggest thing we're going to stress is just be patient with the farmers, be patient with us. We're not on the roads that long. We're just merely trying to get to our next job site, so to speak.
Sure.
Once we do take steps to prevent accidents as far as our signage, our lights, but we're just basically asking for folks to slow down a little bit. Please don't be distracted, and to pay attention to their surroundings and just be patient.
Yeah, getting from field to field is a chore because we've got roads that go right through farmland, and around the next corner or through the next bend or in the dip when you come up to the crest of the hill, all of a sudden you could be a major surprise.
Yes, absolutely. And you can close if you're going 55 down a road and a tractor ahead of you is going 15. You can close in on them in just a few seconds because they're only going 15, 25 miles an hour. They should all be placarded. You should see the big orange triangles on them. But you have to be aware that they're all out there. They're also on the Amish buggies that you'll see out and about, and the Amish who have their horse-drawn farm equipment should have those as well. And they're going even slower.
Yeah. And especially where I live out in Smicksburg, that's a major issue because they're everywhere, and they're completely unprotected.
They are. And you are on a tractor as well. And keep in mind, a lot of us are either wearing hearing protection, we're hard of hearing, or we're hard of hearing. You might have an elderly farmer. Most farm accidents do involve people over 65 who have slower reflexes, or you might have farm equipment that is being operated by a younger person. And Brad, being a former state trooper, I believe it's 14 is our age that kids are supposed to be to run farm equipment.
Correct. Pennsylvania law mandated that the children operating farm equipment on roads must be at least 14 years of age. And that, honestly, my children started when they were 11, 12 years old running farm equipment, but we were cognizant of them going out onto the highways.
Yeah.
Most of these farmers are only gone a short distance, maybe from one property to the next or down the road a mile. If you follow a piece of farm equipment, even at 2 miles, the most it's going to put you behind schedule, Todd, is the time it spends to sit at 2 red lights.
Yeah.
For red light signs. It's not a life or death situation. A lot of this farm equipment is large, and you actually don't see behind you. You don't know what's behind you.
Yeah.
And when these people sometimes will try to pass you, you don't know they're coming until they're right beside you or right next to you, or folks coming the opposite direction. There's just no place for them to go at some of the speeds that they're running at.
And especially at this time of the year when we're coming out of fields with as wet as it's been, they're going to make the road a little bit sloppy. There will be some mud there, and that presents a bit of a danger as well. So everybody needs to be cautious just around them for that reason. And
we do have the Western Pennsylvania potholes that we're also trying to avoid with our farm equipment. And even if you have a planter on and you're going to make a left turn, some tractors don't have turn signals. We may swing to the right before we make a left. So unless we're acknowledging you, we're pulling over to the right and acknowledging you to go around us. Give us a second because we might be just trying to make a left-hand turn.
Yeah. Important to realize as well that these are farmers who are doing really hard work. And they're not out there in order to assert themselves or anything. They just want to get from one field to the other safely.
Correct, Todd. We're just, I guess, merely trying to feed America. It's our job. We're just trying to get from this job site to the next with the least amount of issues or problems that could be created or caused. Exactly.
And we are having an event tomorrow at Walker and Walker Equipment
Uh-huh.
about farm and rural road safety. So if anybody would like to stop by, farmer or non-farmer, we would love to talk to them and get a look at some of this equipment and what we have to deal with while we're driving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is at what time?
That begins in the morning about 8 o'clock.
Okay. Along Route 422 there.
Right out along 422 at Walker and Walker.
Uh-huh. All right. So those are good things, good reminders of what's going on our area roadways. You get to this season of the year, and this is the beginning of a season. Maybe we had the manure spreader out there through the winter months, but now we've got everything else out there because it's planting season. Some people, of course, are still getting in stuff from the fall. And so they're moving round bales around and things like that, and that all happens too. So all of that is a good reminder for us that all season long, this is the beginning of a season of watchfulness. And roads, when they are as they are in our area, they're narrow, and as I said, they're very twisty turny, and so we really need to be careful.
Yeah, a lot of our farm equipment, Todd, is excess of 14 feet wide. Mm-hmm. And a lot of your township roads are 16, 18 feet wide. So when we come down the road, we are basically taking the whole road. Mm-hmm. We're looking for some place to get out of the way. That's merely our main concern. And we would like the public to also know that recently, within the last several years, Pennsylvania law has changed. Prior to that, farm equipment and implements of husbandry were not permitted on any Pennsylvania road after sunset. Uh-huh. And the law did change a couple of years ago that we are now permitted, I believe, up to 16 feet on the highways at night, provided we run emergency lights and an escort, et cetera. Most farmers will try to avoid that.
Sure.
For that reason, for the safety factor. But when Mother Nature, she does her thing, mm-hmm. and if she rains for 3 days and we're behind schedule, you may see us. Yeah. In the dark, going from one field to the next.
Brad, an important point about farm implements that are out on the road as well, you as a state trooper would know this, is that sometimes when they have to get out onto a 119, especially north of Indiana, or some of the more heavily traveled roadways, you'll have a lineup of 15 or 16 cars behind them because the traffic can pile up pretty quickly behind them. One person might decide, well, I can pass 6 or 7 of these at one time. I think I see a straight stretch up ahead. So we need to be watching out not only for the farm implement in front of us, but we have to be watching for other motorists who might, basically let's call it, sometimes people are boneheads.
Yes. I mean, there are no passing zones in effect.
Yeah. But
it is also legal to pass vehicles that are not maintaining the current minimum speed on some of these highways is 35, 40 mile an hour. Mm-hmm. Once again, extreme caution should be used because if you're going to try to pass, and as you stated, Todd, it's usually the guy that's in number 14th position yeah. that wants to pass everybody. Mm-hmm. You don't have time. You're covering 1.3. The formulas for feet per second that you cover, it adds up quickly. 100 yards is a football field. That's transversed in under 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You just be patient. Be patient.
Yeah.
I mean, they're every out of the 400 or 15,000, accidents we talked about, mm-hmm. every one of them was preventable.
Yeah.
Every one of them, especially those 400 fatalities.
With a little bit of patience.
Yeah. All right. So that is the call. It is Rural Road Safety Week. You said tomorrow is the event at Walker and Walker?
Tomorrow is the event at Walker and Walker.
Mm-hmm. For people to learn more about what Farm Bureau is here in Indiana County and what it does, and of course, to get some farm safety information, what should they do?
They can feel free to contact any member of the Indiana County Farm Bureau. They mm-hmm. can contact myself. I'll give my number out there. It's 412-309-2396. Or they could contact Barb.
Yep, they can contact me. I'm 724-467-0767. They can also check out our Facebook page, or you could check out the state Farm Bureau website. And we are always welcoming new members. You don't have to be a farmer. You could just be someone who likes to eat or respects how hard we work. We'll take those along with us. Or
Sure.
community members. Shireen Hess is a member. The Chamber of Commerce is a member. So anybody who wants to support us, we will scoop you up along.
Yeah. All right. So
We do represent, Todd, over 400 families in Indiana County, families and businesses. The Indiana County Farm Bureau does. And the Farm Bureau, a little over 30,000 families or businesses in the state of Pennsylvania.
that's a lot.
And we're supported by Senator Pittman, Senator Struzzi, Commissioner Mike Keith, Serene Hess. We do garner a lot of support
Yeah.
as far as the Farm Bureau goes.
Yeah. Just recognizing the importance of what farmers do, and allowing them to do what they do, unencumbered by those sorts of burdens, those sorts of worries. That's a good thing.
Correct.
Good thing. All right, so everybody watch out. Farmers are out there. They're on the roadways, and they're moving about, and we want everyone to be safe. Thank you, folks, for
Thanks,
coming
Todd.
in.
Thank you, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Let us get this morning's Money Matters report in. Here's Monica Nelson.